In 2022, the gamer world is still divided, and a battle is raging between those who believe in the almighty power of the PlayStation 5 and those who have faith in the unbelievable performance of the Xbox Series X. But which console is going to leave this battle as a winner? Let's find out in this video. It's me, levelcherry again. I want to talk about the Xbox Series X versus the PlayStation 5. Which console is better? Which console should you purchase? If you still don't know which console you should go for, well, wait till the end of this video to find out. First of all, let's talk about price and packaging. The Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 and the disc version both have the same retail price. Packaging. If you have checked out my unboxing video of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, where you can see that the PlayStation 5 does not take the veneer. The Xbox Series X, you open it up and it looks like a gift. It looks so amazing. It has a really good packaging. Well, it's not that important really, but in contrast to that, the packaging of the PlayStation 5 rather looks like something you buy out of a fishy truck in some kind of dark back street. The design of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X have people divided. Like, for once, the Xbox Series X is just like a plain black block. It's not overwhelming in design, but it's simple. It's small, compact, pretty classic design. It looks pretty sleek. I like it. Have like vinyl decals around it in pink to make it look nice, but more so because the material of the Xbox Series X is really prone to scratches. So the PlayStation 5 in contrast looks awesome. I think it's very modern, very classy looking, and very futuristic. This is a piece of art. That's something you want in your living room, that you want to present, that you want to have on display. The PlayStation 5 looks great, and while both have a USB-A at the front, the PlayStation 5 also has a USB-C at the front, which is really awesome, I think. Also, the lights of the PlayStation 5, that is really cool. This is what you want as a gamer. You want, most of us, want really, really, really a lot of lights. So, the RGB is cool. It would be cool if it was addressable. If you could change the colors. Well, you can buy stuff for it, but I would hate to take my PlayStation 5 apart, even if it's an easy thing to do. I don't want to take it apart. I just think the PlayStation 5 is far too huge. If Microsoft can manage to put all this performance in such a little cube, why does the PlayStation 5 has to be this enormous? Like, where you even put it? I know you want to put it on display, but you have to have space to put it on display because it's just the biggest console I've ever seen. Still, it looks better. Not everyone might agree with that, but for me, in terms of design, the PlayStation 5 takes the win. Let's talk specs. If you see it from a pure objective view, we have to say that the Xbox Series X comes with the better specs. In terms of CPU, they both have an 8 Zen 2 core. While the PlayStation is at 3.5 GHz, the Xbox Series X is at 3.8 GHz. Memory bandwidth. The Xbox Series X, we have up to 560 GB per second, while for the PlayStation 5, it's slightly under that at 448 GB per second. In terms of their optical drive, there is not too much of a difference. Like, actually, they both are 4K Ultra HD disk drives. Internal storage, we only have a 825 GB SSD in the PlayStation 5, where we have a 1 TB in the Xbox Series X, which makes a huge difference because almost 300 GB are already gone in the PlayStation 5 for software. So you don't have much storage, and you always kind of have to erase games unless you buy some expandable storage. You can extend the PlayStation 5 storage with NVMe SSD, there's a slot for it. While you can just put an expansion card in the Xbox Series X and then it runs like a native storage. But it's expensive, we've got to say that. But usually the 1 terabyte is quite alright. You can put quite a few games on there, but PlayStation has quite large games, so it's a little bit annoying to only have like 500 gigabyte of usable storage. When we come to the GPU, the PlayStation 5 only has a 10.28 teraflops. The Xbox Series X offers 12 teraflops. Clearly the Xbox Series X is taking the win in terms of hardware. Let's talk about performance. We just saw that the Xbox Series X has a better specs, but does that mean that it performs better? Well, kinda. But let me say, while the Xbox Series X is amazing, we still see that with some games the PlayStation 5 somehow looks smoother. Both take hardly any time loading. I think the Xbox Series X is sometimes a bit quicker. I noticed that the Xbox Series X loads quicker when it comes to online games. I don't have as much waiting time with the Xbox Series X as I have with the PlayStation 5 when I want to connect to online games, when I want to play online. Server connection time is a lot quicker with Xbox Series X. Both of the consoles get quite hot, but you can say that the Xbox Series X gets a little bit hotter still than the PlayStation 5. Even if you're playing the same game on both consoles, the Xbox Series X is a lot hotter. I don't want to try this, but you could probably fry an egg on the Xbox Series X if you have been playing it for a while. Like, you don't even have to play it for that long. It gets quite hot. But both of the consoles really can, so make sure you have a lot of ventilation around them. Both run really quietly. You cannot really hear the consoles. It's not as noisy as a Nintendo Switch, for example, which we don't compare here, but gosh, is a Nintendo Switch noisy sometimes. Well, it's a handheld, so different fans, everything. But if we come to sound, I find that the PlayStation 5 has amazing sound, no matter whether you listen with your headphones, no matter what kind of headphones you're using, or if you're playing on TV. I find the sound of the PlayStation 5 is crystal clear. It is really awesome. If we come to overall performance, so I gotta say, with the Xbox Series X, I never had any troubles. Like, I never had one error in the, 4 months or something I've been playing every day. No errors on the Xbox Series X, where the PlayStation 5 is often, like, if I start a game, if I load a game, it just crashes sometimes. I don't even know why. You just press a button out of the sun, your game crashes and it says error. Or if you want to connect online, error. I don't know why that happens. Maybe it's my PlayStation 5. Please let me know in the comments if you had similar situations. Well, even today, on today's stream, I tried to load up the game Five Nights at Freddy's, and my PlayStation 5 just kind of crashed, and then it had an error, and then I reported the error. I don't know if that's any good if I report it, but that's what I did. Never happened on the Series X with me though, not that I remember. It's always running really smooth. In terms of performance, except for the sounds, I really gotta say that still the Xbox Series X is taking the win. Overall functions and the menu and stuff. So I find the menu is a little bit like, if you haven't played any consoles for years, the menu of the Xbox Series X looks a little bit more structured. The Xbox Series X is so versatile in terms of that you can adjust your menu, you can like organize and structure it the way you want to, which is really great. You can personalize your Xbox Series X quite well. In terms of accessibility, the Xbox Series X is far more accessible. Like, I haven't seen a console that gave you so many options for accessibility, and the PlayStation 5 is pretty great. It's simple, it's easy as well. I like the menu of the Xbox Series X a little bit better because it's a bit easier to navigate. In terms of options and settings, like for example, when I tried to stream for the first time, but maybe that was like my default, I was confused streaming from the PlayStation 5, like on which setting I turned my microphone off. because I included it in the stream, but then it was muted somewhere else. And that said, streaming from the PlayStation 5 is generally a bit easier and feels more native to the console. You can change the titles really fairly easy and everything like that. And as well, if your stream gets interrupted, the PlayStation 5 just kind of reconnects it. I haven't seen that happening with the Xbox Series X yet, but on the other hand, my Xbox Series X never interrupted my stream. I like the shop of the PlayStation 5. I think that the PlayStation Store is easier to navigate than it is on the Xbox. If we talking about general features, we don't have a clear winner here, because both of the consoles are quite great. Well, in terms of accessibility, the Xbox Series X wins, and in terms of menu, in my opinion, and personalization, the Xbox Series X wins as well. But if it comes to, like, for example, the store, I like the PlayStation 5 better. Yeah, and streaming, PlayStation 5, definitely. So let's talk controllers. Both of them have the same retail price, but both consoles already come with one. But if you want to have an additional, both at the same price. But is that worth it? Are they worth their money? Should they be that price? Should one of them be cheaper than the other one? Let's find out. I gotta say, I like the classic design of the Xbox Series X controller. It's quite well in your hand. It's a bit heavy, which I kind of like. It has haptic feedback and vibration in there. You have all the classic buttons, the share button. You can remap your controller, which is amazing, because you could theoretically remap your share button and put it that you can, like, switch between the games with the quick switch option, which is really cool. So classic design is good in your hands, nice controller. You can game for hours with it without getting any cramps. What I don't like the connection of the controller is fairly easy, pressing the button on the Xbox. What I don't like too much about it, you need batteries. Or you buy some rechargeable batteries, but then you have the problem that kind of, like, depending on which ones you get, most of them cannot be recharged with a USB-C. Not that environmentally friendly. Don't like too much that you have to buy batteries. PlayStation. This DualSense 5 controller is, I'm not exaggerating, this is the best controller ever made. This is a gem. I love the PlayStation 5 controller so much, and you know why? First of all, it lies good in your hand. Secondly, it's it's not too heavy. It's still heavy enough to be awesome. You have an USB-C. It does need batteries. Yes, good feature. Do you have vibration? Yes. We have motion control. How awesome is that? I love everything that has motion control. Then we have an touchscreen. Which controller ever came with a touchscreen? This little button here, big button here, can actually, if you play Astro Playroom, you can just kind of do things from there, and it does things in the game. And you can, like, climb like this. You can do anything with this controller. Not only can you directly mute your microphone on the controller, and then, no, it also has speaker and microphone. What other controller gives you that? That is so amazing. Also, if you want to talk from your headset, you can just do an auxiliary cable in here, and you can use your headset. Like, you can use the microphone, and you can use the headphones itself, and it has awesome sound. But with this little one here, yes, you can use your headphones. Yes, you can listen to it. Can you speak? Not with a normal headset. Now you need a Microsoft headset made for the Xbox. Yes, that sucks. Who takes the win if we're talking about controllers? This beautiful PlayStation 5 controller. Yours probably doesn't look like this because I love cute things. My last point, and probably one of the most important points, games. Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 both have quite a range of games. I gotta say that the Xbox Series X has a lot more optimized games for the Xbox Series X, while the PlayStation 5 has far more exclusives. So, what do you prefer? More exclusives or more games that are optimized for the console you're playing? There's a lot of PlayStation 4 games that you can get for the PlayStation 5, and there's a lot of PlayStation exclusives. When we talk about the Xbox Series X, so it doesn't have many exclusives yet. You can get most of the games also for PC, of course, but also on PlayStation. If you have a PlayStation, you don't really necessarily, if we talk in terms of games, Xbox Series X, because chances are that you can play the exact same games on your PlayStation 5 too. But on the other way around, if you're playing games on PlayStation 5, you probably don't get them all on your Xbox Series X. That said, the Xbox Series X has far better backwards compatibility. I hope I say that right. You can find also in the store Xbox Series X games as well as Xbox 360 game. You can even find really old games and gems on the Xbox Series X. Don't see that with PlayStation 5 yet, but it might still come in the future when PlayStation 5 adds their new project. If we're talking about the Xbox Game Pass, you can't beat that. Not at the moment. PlayStation really has to make something happening to be able to be the Game Pass. Because, like, honestly, for, I don't know how much it is in US dollars, but in Australia it's like $15 per month, and you can play hundreds and hundreds of games. It's so amazing. Like, you can play all these Xbox games for free, basically, like Netflix, like a streaming service, kind of. If you want to buy a game, for example, that is also on the Game Pass to have it forever, and then you can get it discounted. There's so many games you can get on day one release. Yes, there is. Like, for example, Forza Horizon 5, one of the best racing games made ever. It was available on release. Well, okay, some people even like got it 1 week before that for some reason, but you know what I mean? You can get really great games that are new on day one with the Game Pass. And the best thing about it is you can use cloud gaming. That means you playing a game on the Xbox Series X and you can pick it up later on your smartphone, on your tablet. You can even use the Game Pass on your Microsoft PC. You can just go straight into the game where you left off on your other device. You see games that you can't get on the Xbox or on any other console. You have that directly on your PC as well. So since most PlayStation 5 exclusives also have been released on the PC, with the Game Pass, you kind of have, if you have a good gaming computer or can use cloud gaming, you kind of have the all-in-all deals. PlayStation, you gotta pick up your game with your subscription service. The conclusion. Which console wins? In my opinion, the PlayStation 5 looks better hardware, Xbox. Do I love the Game Pass? Is it amazing? Yes, it is. But does the PlayStation have amazing games? Yes. Horizon, God of War, Ghostwire Tokyo. All in all, both consoles are great. And if I had to pick who wins the console war, I can't tell. No. Performance-wise, if that's more important to you, go with the Xbox Series X. If streaming is a really big factor for you, then probably better off with the PlayStation 5. Because how amazing is this controller that you can just plug your headset in and use it? I think it depends really on where your preferences are lying. If you don't want to keep buying expensive games, then go with the Xbox because of the Game Pass. But I love the controller of the PlayStation 5. I love the performance of the Xbox Series X. I love the power of the Xbox Series X. They are both great and amazing next generation consoles, and I love them both. Hopefully I could help you with your decision which one to buy. Let me know in the comments if you prefer the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X.